we are in a bull market. So the bull market continues, like I have mentioned in the title and thumbnail of this live stream, because Bitcoin continues to trend up in higher highs and higher lows. And even on the weekly basis, this looks like a new higher low being printed after briefly touching the 20-week simple moving average. Now, I have made this call, albeit it's not a very definitive call, because Bitcoin has not had a confirmed support every time it touched the 20-week SMA in this cycle. As you see back here, it did manage to break below it, and back here it did manage to break below. But this time it looks okay. If we can bounce from here, that's even better for Bitcoin's sake, because that would not only show that 20-week SMA is still working, but also confirm a new higher low that's even higher than the June 16th low that we made around 100K. Okay, so let me just check on this to make sure. Yeah, we're good. So if we can hold above 108K now on the weekly candle close, that would be the last confirmation we need. So this is only 1 week so far. So last week we managed to bounce from the 20-week SMA. If this week also confirms and doesn't break below, that would be really bullish. But even if it breaks below, we are still above the bull market bottom line, which is the 50-week SMA, currently at 96,750. So all in all, no question about it, Bitcoin is in a bull run, and even stronger bull run than the last time it made a significant correction, because it didn't break below the 20-week SMA like before. Okay, so that's the context. If you just want to buy Bitcoin, you can follow my video right here. This one literally says buy now when we touched 108K at the 20-week SMA. It's kind of funny how we position the thumbnail like this. That's exactly right here at 108K, the touch right here. So that all my Bitcoin analysis is in that video. I don't think you should go all in on this signal, because this cycle Bitcoin has been pretty volatile. So 20-week SMA is not a confirmed, will hold above no matter what. But it is a value zone usually. If you want to buy at 20-week SMA, good target to start buying. Okay, so as long as Bitcoin continues to trend up, and especially the next time it breaks these parallel highs right around 120K, we are going to see altcoins start to be very exciting again. This is because currently Bitcoin dominance is not retracing all of these gains. You see Bitcoin dominance has been holding down and still in a weekly downtrend. This is the weekly chart, and for the past 12 weeks now, it has been going down. Very good, especially when Bitcoin corrects. If Bitcoin dominance still goes down, very good sign for altcoins. This most likely comes from strength in Ethereum, in XRP, in the large caps. And I'll just show you a really quick example for Ethereum versus BTC chart. You see that on a weekly time frame, Ethereum is outpacing Bitcoin. Even over the last 6 weeks, since July 18th, August 4th, so over the last month, throughout August, Ethereum has been outpacing Bitcoin on a week-by-week basis. Even when Bitcoin drops, Ethereum has not dropped a lot more than Bitcoin, which is very rare. It only happens in altcoin season, only happens in altcoin bull markets. So this is really good. This is very good context to keep in mind. Even if you are worried about your altcoin bags, I feel pretty confident right now to say, as long as you're holding a strong altcoin in the large cap category, you don't need to worry about it too much. All it's doing is just following Bitcoin at the moment. And we know Bitcoin will bounce back. When that happens, your altcoins should bounce back faster. This is how I'm positioning my portfolio as well. Okay, so with that being said, what are the altcoins? Actually, before we get into altcoins, I just want to show you quickly the main event to watch in terms of macro for this month. And that's with the next FOMC meeting. So the next FOMC at the Fed is on September 16th and 17th. This is very important, way more important than the last 9 we've had, because we are going to get an interest rate cut. This is all but confirmed now. Since last week, on September 5th, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics has released the latest jobs number for the unemployment rates in August for the U.S. And you can just Google this right here, this document. The summary here is very simply put, unemployment rate is rising and jobs are being revised down yet again. You guys remember the last time that there was a lot of buzz around Fed making a rate cut? That was because right here, you see these four bars of new jobs being added, non-farm payroll being added in the US. All 3 previous months since May, June, and July have been revised down. So the numbers were cooked. There were a lot less jobs being added. And August confirmed this yet again. The exact numbers were, economists were expecting 75,000 to 80,000 jobs being added, while there were only 22,000 new jobs being added in August. So really, the unemployment is really bad. And in fact, the unemployment rate actually rose to 4.3% right here. This is the highest unemployment rate has been since 2022, early 2022, which you can find on all the macro data sites. So for example, right here, 4.3% in August being print. The last time that it was unemployment was above 4.3% was October 2021. So this is starting to look pretty bad. And the Fed will have to be at least acting a little bit, at least one time in the September meeting to make a one-time cut. This is the confirmed scenario now. It's no longer a discussion. So the percentages here you see on the CME Fed Watch tool is now about whether the Fed will cut 25 basis points or one single cut, or do a double cut and cut 50 basis points. This is anyone's guess. Obviously, most people are leaning towards just one cut. Don't read into these too much, but there is now a 0% projection that people are making for no cut in September. So this tool, when it does goes into 95% plus, it basically guarantees. There is no other time that this has been so shocking that the Fed just completely goes against what everyone's saying. So the September rate cut is happening. We know this. You don't need to overthink this. Some people are saying now that there are going to be more cuts for the rest of the year. That's kind of uncertain. So when you look at the probabilities, how you can use this Fed Watch tool is most accurate for the following meeting. But when it tries to predict further into the future, it's not as accurate. So for example, when you look at the December 10th FOMC, so the next 3 FOMC meetings, a lot of people are, the largest percentage that people are willing to bet on is a 3.5% interest rate, which is how many cuts? 1, 2, 3 cuts over the next 3 meetings. Even this is kind of uncertain because meeting by meeting, the probabilities can really shift. So don't read into the other ones too much unless Jerome Powell actually comes out on September 16th and 17th and says that by the end of the year, we will cut 2 more times. If he actually says that, then it's confirmed. But until he says that, don't read into these projections as much. That's what I will leave you with there. So we will do an update on the whole unemployment situation and how the rising unemployment rate could lead to fears of recession again. But this is actually not going against any recession indicators per se. So the widely accepted unemployment rate that the Fed is willing to take right now is actually between, the average is about 4.5%. I'm not sure if it's the median or average. So the Fed from December last year had a target of 4.2% inflation. But by June of this year, let me see if I can find you here. So by the June 2025 projection, the dot plot, the Fed actually projected that we should be between 4.4 and 4.5% of unemployment by the end of 2025. So this is still within acceptable range. Yes, it's rising, which tells us that the Fed should react soon, but it's actually not out of expectation. It's not like 4.6%. If it reaches there very quickly, that's likely a sudden recession. But this is still within expectation. And if you look at some of the recession probability charts, that some of the most popular models that follow the inverted yield curve, that's currently giving us a 28% chance for a recession to happen over the next year. So it's actually dropping very quickly. You see, this is the indicator that we have been following, which gives us the Q4 2025 deadline for the Fed to act. And if they don't act and still don't make any cuts, then the recession risk will be high. But as long as they start cutting, chances are that the recession risk is going to be reduced month after month. And you see, this is a 1 year lag. So technically, if a recession is to happen, it kind of has to happen this month. Otherwise, each month after this month, the Fed will most likely have started to act, which will bring the risk of recession quite a bit lower. So we are just about at the cusp of the fears being over, as long as the Fed starts acting. So this next FOMC is very key to watch on September 16th and 17th, not only for how much the Fed will cut. If they cut once or twice, doesn't really matter in this one time, but will they say for the next two meetings and the rest of 2026? Very interesting. Do they have any projections for how many cuts they want to do? Okay, so that's the current FOMC rate cut situation. Now, let's get into the charts and what this might tell us on the charts. So we have already covered that as long as Bitcoin continues holding up and once it gets above 120K, alts will run. We have been showing that Ethereum, the largest altcoin, is outpacing Bitcoin. Very good. Currently, my 100K trading challenge is sitting at a balance of 110K. We're up 10%. Not bad, especially considering quite a few of these bots that we opened were at higher prices than current price. So you see, even after this market bounce, our ADA bot is still at break even. Link bot is actually at a slight loss in terms of the price we opened, 23.9, and the current price, 23. XLM, Sui is at break even. XLM is still down. So all in all, this is actually quite good. And this is because there are a few outperformers in the bots. So the first one is with Hyperliquid. So Hyperliquid, my range was actually pretty tight. I only wanted to target $50. And just this morning, after Hype made the move, let me see right here. Yeah, so Hyperliquid actually came out of the buy range, you see, and it broke the previous all-time high. So the bot has taken profit, and currently the Hype bot is sitting in all stables. I haven't done the action yet, but I'll show you what I'm going to do here. So whenever a bot goes out of the range, the upper end range, what I prefer to do is to take the profit out in terms of stables and either wait for Hype to drop back into this range and then open it when it drops, let's say, towards the middle of the range. In this case, would be $47 or below. That would be good. or I can use those profits in another bot that's currently on a dip. In this case, I'm going to open new bots with it. So first, I'm going to withdraw these. Let's look at how this bot actually did. So initially, I have put in, let's see our log. I believe I put in 10K, yeah, 10K in the hype swing bot. And here, so I have compounded profit one time, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, on August 29th, I took out $574 of profit. And on, let's see, margin history. And on that same day, I withdrew $230 in margin. So this was $700 that of profits that we withdrew before. And if we stop the bot right now, you'll see, okay, so we have a 1K profit on the 10K with after 5% profit share. So 1K plus 700, so 17% gain overall on the 10K investment. The total period is 20 days. That's not bad. 17% over 20 days. Not bad. What I'll tell you though is that before I close this, these bots, they will, when it's relatively shorter term, they actually won't perform as well as if you just bought the absolute bottom and then sold at $50 because it scales in and scales out. So that's why if you compare the price growth from the time we opened it at $42 until $50, that's 10, 15, 17. Oh, okay, that's actually just about 17%. So in this case, it was about the same as just holding because it lasted 20 days, but usually it will be slightly underperforming. This is expected because the bot will not give you as much risk when you open it. It will continue to scale in and out. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But in this case, it actually did pretty well. It performed 17% from 42.6 opening to $50 closing. Not bad. Okay, so I'm gonna stop it right here. In total, we've made 17%. Okay, stopping that. And now that goes into the account balance. Okay, the other one that I want to take some money out of and change is the Bitcoin hold bot because I want to use some of these safer capital to open up a new ETH position. So I'm going to do two things here. First is I want to adjust the price range on the BTC hold. So we want to make the low end to be the 50-week simple moving average. So moving the lower range up. That's currently at 96,985, let's say. 96,985. Let's go here. Edit price range. 96,985. This is now the bull market support. Okay. Confirm. Modify. Okay. Next, I'm going to reduce the investment by the maximum that I can do is actually 80%. This is limited by the platform, so I'm going to do that. And it will realize a little bit of profit as well. But this is basically the core like safe portion of the trading challenge, where when I have profits that I don't know what to use it for, I will put it into this BTC long-term hold bot. Okay, so we will take that. So now there is quite a bit less investment, and that brings my current available balance to what? Let's see here. Available balance 18,624. Okay, that's good. That's just about enough for two bots. So Then I'm going to do 2 new bots. So the first one is just on Ethereum. So with the same price ranges that I had on the last Ethereum swing bot, so the same ranges on the dashboard right here. Okay, where the low end range is 3350 and the high range 4850, the previous all-time high. These two still match. So you guys remember last time we made an update about this. We closed the entire position when it hit this wick right there. And I said, by the time it drops below into the range, I'm going to reopen that. I wasn't going to open at a much higher range because it just hit previous all-time high and it didn't even break above the 5K psychological resistance. So that was a good point to take some profits. Now it's back into the range. So currently at 4,326, we can use the same support at 3350, this low right here. And we use this previous high, 4850. So exact same setup. I'm going to reopen the ETH bot. I think this is a pretty good spot. I don't want to adjust it much higher because looking at the current price action, there is probably a bearish divergence here if you look at RSI because we failed to break above the previous all-time high here. And this high here is not as convincing as this one. So on the consecutive bounce, isn't as strong. So I think ETH is probably going to chop a bit below this previous all-time high resistance. So the good thing about the bots is as long as you don't open it at, the Pico top of the local top, like even if you open it now at 4,300, which I think is a good target, if ETH chops like this, the bot is going to make money. And this is kind of what I'm expecting for a little while now. So that's what I'm going to do here. So let's go to the bots. I'm going to go to ETH. Let me close the toolbar. Create. Let's go to ETH USDT perp. Low end 3350. High. Actually, I should just use the copy link here. Copy link right here. Copy the bot. Okay. And I'm going to put in, well, this is ETH. So let's just do the larger amount in this one. So 10K again. Okay. All looks good. Just the default settings. Activate bot. Okay. So now we have the ETH bot opened again. So this is what it's currently doing. It will continue to buy until actually 3350. There are quite a bit of buy orders that are not shown here below. And it will continue to sell until 4850. So it actually leans towards the buy side instead of the sell side. So what it does is it has more stables on the side waiting to buy the dip. That's the ETH bot. And if you guys want to follow along, you can just do that. Yeah, I think this is a good spot to be doing this again for ETH. Okay, the next one that I'm going to do is AVAX. So like I mentioned in the intro of this video, we want to target the largest market cap altcoins for this slow rotation in the market. So we already have bots for all of these, right? Up until Stellar so far. We just closed the Hyperliquid bot after it pumped 15%. So now we move down the list to the next one, which is AVAX. And here is the chart of AVAX for some context. So you see AVAX is coiling up right towards resistance at just about $26, which is the May resistance touched in July, and then multiple touches throughout August. This is the last sign, last key area that it needs to break above, and then we are likely going to have a big move here as a breakout. And what's really good is you see the downtrend has been completely reversed towards the upside. You don't need me to tell you that this is a curling up action, but more specifically, we have low, we have a lower low, another lower low, but then higher low, and then even each of these daily candles have been higher and higher, right? Kind of a diagonal formation. So this is definitely coiling up, looking really good. And fundamentally speaking, AVAX tends to pump right after Solana pumps. And Solana is at a good spot as well. So you see very similar chart on Solana. This is the kind of action that we had the last time we drew some expectations for Solana for the rest of this year. We're targeting 260, and you see Solana is coiling up as well with each daily candle, each low being higher and higher. So when Solana breaks up, usually AVAX follows. This is a classic rotation. So I want to target AVAX here. And how do we find the low end and high end ranges? So remember, these are swing trades. We want to target at least 1 month. 1 month is actually an ideal hold time for these. That gives us the last low, 2 possibilities here. The first one is 20.7 right here, or you go all the way down to these 3 triple bottom pattern, or you can say like inverse head and shoulders if you want, right around 15.6 ish. 15.7 is what I used, I believe. So in my view, in order to find a upper range as well, the most likely after we get this breakout is to target these highs that we made after Trump won the elections. And that's around $55-ish. The Q4 2024 target. We use the same target for a lot of the other alts as well. So if we're going to target this kind of a move will take probably a couple months to play out. So if I use this low at $20, it's a little bit too aggressive. So the way I set it up is using these lows that AVAX has dipped to for the first half of the year. These are going to be very safe targets for the low end range. And using that very conservative target will give us a bot that can target a higher range towards $55 by the end of the year. So that's what I'm going to do. You can find this in my settings as well. AVAX lower range 15.7 and upper range 55.2. And I don't think this link works yet because I haven't opened it yet. But I'm going to open it right here. Let's go to AVAX. Okay, so I'm gonna open this on live for you guys, and then I'll add the link in after so you can copy. So low end 15.7. I'm gonna show the grids so you see it. High end 50.2. And recommended grid quantity, that's too many. 350, 360, 370 is good. That will look like this. So the bot will continue to buy until the yearly low, and it will continue to sell until the yearly high, basically. This is actually a pretty midterm bot, to be honest. It's not going to hit either direction over 1 to 2 weeks. Very unlikely, but I think you can hold this until the end of the year. And as long as Bitcoin pumps, this should be a pretty good setup. Okay, so I'm going to just do what I have in balance. All into this one, 8.6K. Arithmetic mode is the one I want, I believe. Yes. And all good. I'm going to create. Yeah, so this will buy 43% in AVAX right away. Keep 14% on the side as stables, and then 41% on the side as extra investment for covering your leverage. And you see the liquidation price is at $9. Wow, that's this is a pretty far away liquidation. So yeah, that's good actually. Okay, so click OK. AVAX USDT futures grid. I'm going to rename this after. Okay, so that's the new position I have. Let's refresh the trading portfolio setup right here. This has been opened. Let's see how this goes after. I only want to do these one step at a time. You guys will know that I'm just simply following my own thesis here, as I have outlined, with my easy altcoin season guide and crypto trading challenge. I have repeatedly given this type of trade and this type of analysis, which is we want to go from the top down. You don't want to jump all of a sudden to like top 100 coin, because we still have coins that are like AVAX, which hasn't pumped. It's literally coiling up, about to break out of a yearly resistance. And we can still find trades that look like this, where we can use the yearly low as a stop loss or support or low end range for your bot, and then use a yearly high. These kind of clean setups, if we can still find these, there's no reason to jump further ahead into very high risk stuff, because this is going to pump when the market is good, because it has always pumped when the market is good. It just takes time. So this is why I'm doing it this way. Okay, lastly, let's cover World Liberty Fi. I know you guys all want to hear about this. I have a World Liberty Fi position right now, right here on the swing bot. And this swing bot is doing pretty okay. You see, it's generated more grid profit again since the last time that we covered it. And this trend P&L is actually not that accurate. I don't know why it reflects this, because the first time when we opened it, the price was around 25 cents. And I don't know what data it's taking here. It's right here. We opened the bot literally on this live stream at 27 cents, currently at 21 cents. There you go. So the latest updates on World Liberty Fi. I have been building a large position and I continue to buy. I have been tweeting about this every time that I do. You can just follow me on live. Here I tweeted about support at 21 cents. Yesterday we tweeted about this breakout above 20 cents. In my view, 20 cents is a really good level, because that's when the treasury company, Alt5 Sigma, this is their entry price into World Liberty Fi. And yeah, I don't understand why people have such negativity towards this coin, even though they have never bought it and they haven't studied it. And somehow it's just, if you even want to trade this coin with your own money like I am, you're a shiller for some reason. Like, I am putting in my real money, not only in the trading challenge here. This is a very tiny amount. I have a huge bag of World Liberty Fi that I have bought at higher prices than the current price. Even starting from the pre-market listing, I've been averaging down on this. I put my money where my mouth is. So I don't know why people think that they can just, like randomly call a coin a scam when there's no evidence of it. So a couple of things that people have been saying. Some people say, oh, look, this is a huge scam, huge rug. Look at the charts. Where is the rug? I honestly don't get it. Where is the rug? I mean, even if you bought at the Pico top, maybe you bought on the first 10 minutes, okay, like at 29 cents. But even that is only down 33%. How can you call that a rug? It's just like any other coin that has launched. So I don't know why people have these charts where they're literally, like, I've seen these. They have it zoomed in at like the monthly candle, looking at a coin that has launched 1 week ago and saying, hey, look, this went to zero. Like, this coin is still at 21 billion FTV. They're making it sound like it's at $1 million FTV. I don't know what people are saying. Apparently, that's how perception works. You're just allowed to say that without any data to back it up. Okay, and get this. All the ICO participants, all the retail, they got in at either 5 cents or 1.5 cents. So the 5-cent investors, they got in, these are public investors, not VCs, okay? They are up 4x. And the first round people, they're up like 14x. Everyone's happy that has actually bought the ICO of this coin. So the people that are calling this a scam, I know for a fact that they didn't look at this coin and they didn't buy it. Otherwise, they would be in profit. So I don't understand. Even me, I'm happy because I have bought a lot of the positions down here. I've been tweeting about this. And so far, I'm doing fine. Okay, so that's price side. There is this controversy that people are saying about the activity that they have done to blacklist wallets. Okay, specifically around Justin Sun. You know how some people said Justin Sun invested a lot of tokens and they're afraid he's going to dump, so they blacklisted him. Other people are saying, hey, look, he's using like Huobi to dump with other people's funds. I don't know, right? I can't make any speculation here. I have no idea. This is just what other people are saying. I have no clue about what's actually real or not. I have no evidence. But on chain, okay, Nansen and all the analysts have found that World Liberty have blacklisted 272 wallets. Now, most people only look at this headline and they're saying, hey, look, this project is a scam. They're taking money away from people. But look at the actual breakdown of the 272 wallets. How many of you actually read this? Okay, here's the breakdown. Out of the 272 wallets, 215 of them is tied to a phishing attack where ICO participants, they had the wallets that they used to buy the tokens 1 year ago, but then their wallets got compromised through a phishing attack, and their wallets are now, their seed phrase have been leaked to the hackers. So if they claim the tokens, the hackers have bots set up so they will sell the tokens right away, and they're going to lose those funds. So in order to stop the hackers from draining the funds, claiming the tokens, and then draining the funds, the team blacklisted the wallets and are working with each of the owners to give the tokens to their new wallet. How is this a bad move? It's ridiculous. It's literally saving money from the ICO participants who might be losing their funds. How many people that talking about these blacklist activity are actually opening this tweet? I guarantee you like less than 10% of them. And here, another 50 are literally reported by the wallet owners themselves at their request to blacklist the wallets because they lost the wallets. So, I mean, it doesn't get better than this, right? Yes, there are 6 that are flagged. And specifically, there is 1 suspected of misappropriation. Obviously, this is like them taking jabs at Justin Sun. You can say whatever you want. Okay, the situation between them and Justin Sun, I have no idea again. And there are 5 that are flagged for high risk exposure, for security risk. I don't know each of these specific case. Okay, I have seen larger holders on X. They have come out and said, hey, look, one of these 5 people that I actually have talked to before in other stuff, he said, okay, World Liberty thought my wallet is linked to some non-KYC exchanges and Tornado Cash, etc. So they think I don't meet the wallet compliance. There's something to be said there because technically, like, US companies cannot deal with Tornado Cash. Obviously, I wish everyone would just get their refund. I think that's the best way. Hope they can work it out, but that's still fair. That's not them like just taking people's money. And these are 5 wallets. So if you're one of these 5 people, like, definitely reach out to them and make big posts about how much you invested, what they're saying about your wallet, and I hope you get a refund. Okay, or I hope, it gets resolved properly. Because I think this is kind of weird, but it's 5 people that are like based on compliance risk, which are just because it's US company. So I don't know why people call this a scam because of this. In my view, it's 95% justified. Yes, there are these 5 people. There are these 5 wallets. I agree with you. But that's about the extent that I can say that something needs to be done. It's for these 5. Aside from that, everything else is literally saving people's money. So yeah, and people are saying, oh, like, how can you have a token that can blacklist? Look, many tokens are upgradable proxies nowadays. So yeah, these things, a lot of times they just don't get as much scrutiny on chain, but it happens quite often. I can tell you that much. So yeah, these are the 2 main controversies that people have been saying about like World Liberty Fi. That's actually like a fundamental thing that happened. Other than that, it just seems like people are able to just hate on this for apparently no reason. I suspect it's because they don't like Trump, which I get. Okay, maybe like it's a political thing. That's fine. And then you don't want to support anything he does. You think anything he touches is a scam. Fine. But again, like, we're just traders. I'm not a fan of Trump per se. Like, I couldn't care less about American politics. I'm just trying to trade a coin. I don't understand how you feel so justified to be hating a coin when literally your only motivation is that you don't like something about their politics. Then I don't have anything to say to you. But yeah, so to everyone commenting, you know, if you want to have actual discussions about this, great. I'm all here for it. Please tell me if you find anything meaningful, like shady stuff or good stuff. I'm actively doing research in this every single day. And I put my money where my mouth is. I invested a lot into this. Maybe I'll lose money, maybe I'll make money. But don't come at me and just blindly hating on a coin because apparently if you trade this coin and you talk about this coin, you're a scammer, even if it goes up. And then your coin, if you talk about it, it's not a scam. Like, how does that work? I don't get it. It's next level hypocrisy. Okay, so that's what I'm going to say about it. I'm going to continue covering this because I have a big bag of this coin. That's it. That's all the time I have for today. So thank you guys for joining the live stream. Check out the Trading Bot tutorial in the first link in the description, and check the dashboard with all the Trading Bot settings and the current positions, all the update logs in there as well. And follow me on X at VirtualBacon0x. This is where you can get a lot more day-to-day stuff, especially any announcements that World Liberty makes or any new positions that I take. You can find that on X in the earliest. All right. Thank you guys for joining, and I will see you on the next video and next live stream. Bye-bye.